Hey everybody, this is Holly. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. And today I have a couple molds in front of me. This is a tumbler mold. You've probably seen them all over YouTube. And I mainly use this for when I have a little extra epoxy left over. I just put it in here and keep building on it. Or I may mix up a little extra and just, do a design. And then those come out like this. And I think that is so pretty. It come out so good. So make sure you have your gloves. These come from the Dollar Tree. And it's about 10. It comes to 10 in a pack. And I mean, they have a ton of them right now. So just go check it out at your local Dollar Tree. But this mold is a crown trinket box. Well, once it's finished. And I did this once before just to see how it was going to turn out. And the top turned out so pretty. So pretty. With all the glitter and everything else. You don't see that. But the bottom, on the other hand, did not turn out so good. Because a video I watched had put like beads in the little tips of the crown. And apparently my beads were not big enough. So one of my beads wound up breaking off when I was trying to take it out of the mold. But the colors turned out so beautiful. And I was trying to be creative and put something in the middle right here. And it didn't turn out at all. So we're going to try it again. And this time I'm not going to use the white glitter like I did here on this one. And I am going to do it all one color, but I think this time, because even though it is Valentine's Day, or coming up on Valentine's Day, I think I'm actually going to do it in a, let's see, instead of doing the red, let's do fuchsia, because I like fuchsia, I like pink. My aunt that passed away several years ago used to call me Pinky because most of my wardrobe was pink. So once again, this is the pigments that I got from Amazon that I showed you in a previous video. And we're just going to cut. Oh, by the way, I've already mixed my epoxy, which is the craft resin, and part A and B. So I've already mixed it, and it's been sitting probably maybe 10-15 minutes. And there's absolutely maybe a few bubbles. I'm not going to say absolutely no bubbles, but there's like very few in here. So we're going to take our scissors and we're going to clip the tip of the pigment bottle off. Now, the first time I did this mold, I did it in 2 different colors. But like I said, I want to do it in one color just to see how it would do. And I don't mind it having a little bit of clear. So we're going to start off with 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And as always, make sure you put your cap back on. so the way your pigment doesn't dry out. And just start mixing it into the epoxy. Also, fuchsia was my grandmother's favorite color as well. But I've incorporated a lot more colors now into my wardrobe. Now, as you can see as I'm mixing, it looks a lot more mixed on camera than it does on the cup. Excuse me, I do have allergies and my nose wants to run, so I do apologize for that. I think we're going to do about 10 more drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, it wound up being 11. Ooh, very pretty. Very, very pretty. So what are your favorite colors to use when coloring resin or epoxy? I like any color under the sun, because being a crafter, everything looks pretty. You take something and you make something else out of it. All right, do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we're going to mix it up. All right, I think we're about there. And it's so pretty, so pretty. I'm not gonna put any extra, I'm not gonna put any mica powder in it like I did the letters. And with this, I'm actually gonna start with the lid first. Let's see. Oh, my stick is stuck to the, oh well. So, pour it very, very slowly. I do apologize. I am so sorry. So you want to fill it up to almost the top, but not quite, because you don't want that lip on it. And then start pouring the rest of it. Now, I may have to mix more epoxy, because I don't think all of this is going to fit, or I don't think it's going to fill it up. Put it that way. And I am just getting into all this editing and or video making. It almost filled it up, so I think I'm going to do 30 milliliters of A and then 30 milliliters of B, and hopefully that'll finish filling it up. And I am so sorry, y'all did not even see any of that. I'm so sorry. So yeah, but what I want to do is I want to give the tops, where the crown points are, just a little squeeze, so that way there's no bubbles or anything down in there. But I am going to mix up, like I said, 30 milliliters of part B and part A. And then I will be right back with you. I'm gonna pause it so that way you don't have to sit here and listen to me breathe and this, that, and the other. So I'll be back in just a moment. Hey everybody, I'm back, and I have mixed the epoxy. I have just put in the amount of pigment that I wanted, which was around about 30. Because I did 10 3 times. And I did 60 ounces of each, because what I don't put into the crown mold, I'm actually going to make a few tumbler keychains, but I'm going to take my glitter and put in what's left of the epoxy and make some tumbler keychains. Also for Valentine's Day. Now that you can make, these are gifts, you can make them for yourself, for your friends, for a birthday, just about anything you like. Okay, I think that's all mixed in, and there's, so far this epoxy is true to what it says, very little bubbles, little to no bubbles. So we've got that all mixed up, and we're just going to pour the rest, fill up the mold. Just a little bit more. And there you go. Now if you want to, you can take your stick and go down in there and try not to make it overflow. And just make sure everything's pushed down into the crevices. Just be very gentle and not make it overflow. Now you will see a few bubbles like that. And look how pretty that turned out. Now, carefully move your mold to the side and let it cure overnight or for 24 hours. Oh, I've got to pop that with the lighter or the heat gun. Let's try the heat gun tonight. See how it does. Give me 1 second. So I guess we will be getting the lighter. And my lighter actually came from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm sorry that my camera is so small. I'm actually using my phone camera to make the video. We're gonna get our handy dandy scissors. Open. Now the lighters from the Dollar Tree and the ones you get from Walmart are about the same, but the ones that you get from Dollar Tree don't have as much, they don't last as long as far as like fluid and stuff like that. So just give it a little pop, 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 pop all of them little bubbles. And try not to stick it down in your epoxy like I just did. Because what will happen eventually is you'll get epoxy on your lighter and it will not come off. It'll wind up clogging up your lighter. So don't do that. So we're just going to let that rest. Let it take a nap. Woo. I like to have had a disaster. Alright. There's the epoxy up so it don't get messed up. And here's the keychain mold. Whatever I don't use in the keychain mold, I'm actually going to do it in the rest of it in a lipstick organizer, which I have ready to roll. So please, y'all, don't do what I did. I accidentally, one of my cups that I had epoxy in, it actually glued my lid. So I have to unscrew the lid now to get, yeah, because you can see, to get my glitter out. So we're just going to give it a happy little shake. And yes, that reference is from Rob Ross, the painter, Happy Little Tree. Just going to give it a happy little shake. Oh, wait. So pretty. Oh, wow, that is so gorgeous. I actually think I might do some of that glitter in the lid of the crown and just mix it in right there in the mold. So just give it a little shaky shake. Woo-hoo. And I'll show you that in just a minute. We're just going to swirl that around. I know you can't see it at the moment, and I do apologize for that, but I will show you when I'm done with this part. And a lot of times what will happen when you put glitter in epoxy, especially into a mold, what happens with the glitter is that it'll settle down to one side or down to the bottom. So that's why I put just a little extra glitter in it. So that way it'll be all the way through it as it cures. Like I showed you in the other keychain, because that's what happened, is that this is the side that was up, and this is the side that was down, and a lot of the glitter went to the bottom. And if anybody knows any tricks or anything to get that from that not happening, please leave me a comment down below. And also please subscribe. So we're just going to start pouring. And there's one. There's two. And three. So I think that I will have just barely enough for the lipstick organizer. So I'm going to pause, move this out of the way, and get the lipstick organizer. I'll be back in just a moment. Ooh, sorry about that. And we are back. I have the lipstick organizer. You can also, I got all of these molds except for the tumbler one off of Amazon. So with this, you're just going to start pouring it in. And again, if I don't have enough, which I hope and pray I do, if I don't have enough, then I'll just mix some more. And it doesn't look like I have enough. Oh. But this time I will only do like 30 milliliters of the epoxy instead of 60. And I'm sorry I don't have music going. When I'm crafting, I like it quiet. I like it peaceful. Now, every now and then I will have music going. But also my husband is asleep because he has to get up in a little while, in a few hours, to go to work. And I will be joining him in the bed very, very shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and do the epoxy, or mix the epoxy while I'm talking to you. And I really hope everybody is staying safe. I hope everybody is well. Social distancing. I myself have to go to work. Which is good. Because not everybody's able to go to work. Everybody's still having to either do e-learning or work from home. And it should give you some time to spend with your kids or your family, just to be safe and sound together. I cannot wait for this set to finish because this is so darn cute. And I will show you the other lipstick organizer that I made. My first one. And I did it with I added a little bit of like a sea blue mica powder to it. Mica powder, whichever is correct. because they both sound the same. And my cat, of course, is looking at me. Does anybody else have a crafting buddy when you're either doing molds or doing epoxy or even have a Cricut? I have one of those too. I have a Cricut. I'll probably put some videos up of me doing some stuff. Right now I got some earrings going. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Starting now.
So we have Alexa counting down for us. And we're just going to mix and mix and mix for 3 minutes. And make sure you get your sides and your bottom. And yes, it is giving off a little bit of a pink hue. But that's from the pigment that we put in there. And also these cups here I got from the Dollar Tree. And also the popsicle sticks I got from the Dollar Tree as well. There are a lot of items that you can use for when you're doing epoxy from the Dollar Tree. And it just makes it a little bit cheaper on the pocket. Because you don't have to go out and spend tons and tons of money on stuff you can get at the Dollar Tree. Now, I will say there are some stuff at the Dollar Tree that is not as... There's stuff at the Dollar Tree I would not buy. Just because of comparisons and brands are different. You may not have like for example, let's just say Benadryl. There may be a ingredient in Benadryl at Walmart that's not in the Dollar Tree Benadryl. And so and if you need that one ingredient, then your best bet is to get it from Walmart. Now you can also get these popsicle sticks in the craft section at Walmart, but get them from the Dollar Tree just a little bit cheaper. What you doing, Whiskers? What you doing? Are you helping Mama? Don't get up here. Just sit there and watch. Mommy will hold you later. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. And every single one of them are spoiled. Alexa, stop timer, please. And that is 3 minutes of mixing. And there's quite a few bubbles in there. But that could be from the way I was mixing it. So I'm just going to let it sit a couple minutes. I'm going to change my gloves. Always constantly change your gloves. I do. It's just my preference. I don't like, even though the gloves are there to protect my hands, I don't want to be soaked full of epoxy. So make sure you change your gloves. And before I get started touching the epoxy again, I just want to show y'all. I showed y'all in a video or two ago about the soap molds that I had. This is one of the soap molds. It actually, it's supposed to be gray, but I put the glitter in it, and the glitter is actually blue, and so they turn green. And then I kind of since I didn't have enough gray, I made some white, and I put some glitter on it. That was one of the first ones. This is another one. I fell in love with this one because it's purple and it's that white glitter. And I did that on the bottom. At first it started out with a flower, and then as I pulled the pigment into it, now the bottom of this one, like the bubbles, I think that had to do with the temperature change. It started off with a flower, and then as I was pulling it in, it turned into a butterfly, and then it just kind of did its own little thing. Here's another one, a gray one. Now this one didn't do very well. It did better on the bottom as far as like the bubbles and everything, but I think my epoxy was setting too quickly, and so there's a lot of bubbles that's cured in there, and it gives a character. And here's this one. This one is gray and purple. I added just a little bit of purple to it, and it came out like this. And again, I think it had to do with my temperature in the house is the reason all the bubbles are in it. And I have one more, and then we can get back to it. There's this one. I don't think it's not rough at all. It's very, very smooth. But it looks like, it kind of looks like you're looking at it like a bird's eye view of land, of like mountains and stuff. To me, that's what it looks like. And there's the bottom, and of course, a bunch of bubbles. And it's smooth. It's not rough at all. Alright, we can get back to our epoxy pouring. And plus I wanted to give the epoxy a few minutes to let the bubbles come to the top, because there's a ton of bubbles. So we're just going to pop those with the lighter. And be careful when you're using the lighter, especially in these cups. Make sure that you're not hitting the side of it, because it could cause it to melt, which I made that mistake myself. All right. Now there's like teeny tiny bubbles, and they'll come up and pop. So let's add our 30. Okay. I think that may have been 30 or 31. I know for sure 30, but maybe 31 or 32. Mix all that in. I probably should have done a little less. I probably should have done just like maybe 15 or 20. Just considering it's a lot less epoxy than... Sorry, I see a bubble. So anyway, but you live and you learn. Alright, that's all mixed in. I'm just going to add some glitter. Glitter is a girl's best friend. Or a crafter's best friend. They say diamonds is a girl's best friend, but I think glitter's prettier. My crafting buddy is playing at my feet. Alright, so scrape that off so that all that glitter goes in there. And we're just going to pour it right into the mold. And fill this one all the way up, because I noticed when I did the first one that I didn't do that, and it was left with a big like gap on it. Oh, that is perfect, 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 perfect. Just enough. So less is more. I don't think that was the right saying for that. Pull it all into the middle. And if you feel that it is too much, just take your stick and just pull it up and put it back in your cup. But I'm not going to do that. I mean, it does look a little much, but it'll be okay this time. Because it's my second time using it. So you got to have that trial and error. So that way you know for next time. Actually, I think I'm going to take some of it out. And then I can show you another mold that I have. That this would be perfect in.